And I'll tell you another thing about comedy. Hold on. The one of the first things that you do when you do comedy is you don't want to take a nap on stage, and a lot of people think, well. You know what I'm not and so I'm, for health reasons, and this is a whole nother talk. I'm against napping, and I could go on and on about it. The science says that that the science, and we have to trust it, or whatever. Right? And so we say, well, when you go to sleep, you're not very productive while you're sleeping, are you? You couldn't, unless you just memorized, an entire page of encrypted hash, right? And fallen asleep and let your subconscious unencrypt it. That would be fine to take a nap. But unless you're doing that in like some sort of factory situation and someone's screaming at you or whatever, then you shouldn't be napping or whatever. And it stands to reason in the comedy game, right? In the comedy game, on the internet, where there's real hard knock jokes that you have to tell, or no one's gonna listen, and that's the brass tacks, right? And that's where the turkey crumbles, right? Is where where the buck stops. Is that with jokes, right? So most people will say, well, I'll take a 15-minute nap, right? Or a 30-minute nap. Or most people don't say that. I don't know what most people say, right? Some people walk in and out of their door. Every 5 minutes. Just for the hell of it. Or in the time factor. To annoy people. So, so you want to take naps, or you don't, and that's where it comes down to with comedians. If you get on stage and you see, take it for example, you have two comedians get on stage, right? And both of them. One of them falls asleep right away, right? Takes a big nap, lays down on the stage, goes right to sleep, right? The other one tells a bunch of jokes, right? The audience goes, ha ha, or whatever, that you do to jokes. And the other one's sleeping just like a baby, right? Just sleep. And the other one, and he wakes up when the other guy gets finished, they walk off the stage, right? So who do you think the audience, say, if they had to vote or choose one, who do you think they'd pick? to vote afterwards. To be funny, would they all pick the guy that was asleep? And then that was your analytic feedback loop for social media? Right? Plus 20 years, or however long it's been, compounding probability to joke fruition, 2025, right? So the average joke that you hear is a product of, say, 12 years of machine intelligence, fluid dynamic fruitioning, to probabilistically exist at all. And most of the jokes you hear are not jokes, right? So what are not jokes? You know one when you hear one, right? It kind of sounds like this, what I'm doing, right? So there's cringe comedy, right? Which is fine, sure, right? And to a point. And then then you have the traditional joke men style of a comedy, right? Where you're, I'm a professional jokester or whatever, and you tell these professional style jokes that are 1, 2, 3. There's the joke, haha. The audience laughs. Everyone gets paid at the end, or they don't, or at least they're on some sort of list before they leave the studio, and they respond to all the signs or whatever, right? And then the third type of jokes is, there's only, if you had to list the type of jokes that there are, there's only 1, 2, 3 types of jokes, pretty much, right? It's simple, right? Simple things, to make that more clear, to make it more, to understand that more clear. Simple things are simple, right? Difficult things are hard to understand, right? And that stands to reason, before you even hear any jokes. And some people will say, well, this guy hasn't said anything, right? He just said this is semantical bullshit over and over again. And it's almost been 10 minutes. Well, that's fine, right? That's fine. You say, are you telling me that? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. And that's what, and there's the internet. You say, well, what's the internet? Well, so you pretty much just experience what it is. Right? The desire is designed to create stuff, right? So think like, there's a general jokes. Traditional jokesters, they, as some people will call them, or sort of nostalgians, the comedians that will tell these 1, 2, 3 punch, and you hear the at the end, and everyone goes ha ha, right? So they have a big problem with the just to talk about it candidly, I don't really care about any of this to say it, to be serious, but and some of these serious ones, well, some of these serious comedians they'll sometimes they'll sit down and they'll say, hold on, one second, we have to be serious about comedy, right? And I'm tired of all the jokes that it might sound silly to say it like that, say, I'm tired of you're tired of jokes, right? I want to take a nap. I want to take a nap. Wait, I don't want to tell jokes. Right? That's fine. Do that. then you don't get joke bucks, right? So I mean, it stands to reason if you don't get joke bucks, right? If you don't get these joke bucks, right? And stack these joke bucks, right? You have to be awake, and you say, how much coffee do I have to drink? Well, I don't drink any anymore. And you say, well, is that where you're so good at jokes? Probably. You know, I wouldn't want to speculate, but you know, there's a lot of reasons why I'm so good at jokes, and that you aren't, the listener. And you know, I've been going over. You know, I've been going over a few of them, and you know, a few more of them, you know, wouldn't hurt at this point, right? You know, so why? So what's the difference between, you know, me that gets up there every week on stage? You see me in Atlanta. You see me in New York. You see me in Chicago. I'm playing in the big ball, right? Or whatever. And they all laugh, right? Ha ha ha, funny stuff jokes. And everyone laughs, ha ha, great, whatever, right? Comedy. Isn't that what it's all about? It's not about some, you know, I started off this about some guy, he's just asleep, he's taking a nap, right? And you know, that's not anything to watch. That's not anything to joke about, right? You know, he could, and I got up. I thought I could be taking a nap right now. I could be taking a nice, casual, comfortable nap. But what? I am instead telling just the longest, and sometimes with jokes, right? You want to think, well, when people think big stuff, right? And you pause for a second. What do they think about? I don't want to tell you, right? Anyway, so when you close your eyes, what does it think? Big stuff. Ah, I didn't tell you to think about that. That was you, right? Now I'll leave you with this. With all those big dicks in your head, right? At the end of this stand-up special, with all those big, sweaty, stinking, pissing dicks and all those shitting assholes and vomiting mouths and coming pussies and shitting buttholes, all into this bucket, right? That everyone drinks out of, and we call this nice little planet Earth, right? Is, you know, it wouldn't all be here if comedians just, if they said, I'm going to take a nap this afternoon, I'm going to lay down, I'm not going to get on the internet, I'm not going to make a post, I'm not going to do some comedy bit that's going to take somebody's time up and make him go, ha ha ha, whatever, funny stuff, right? And it takes courage to say that, right? You say, what? Right? You say, what? Jokes, man. Sometimes a joke is the hardest thing to tell. I'll leave it with this. I'll leave you with this, right? So next time you think about, well, I'm gonna take the day off, right? I'm just going to sit around and take a nap. I'm going to enjoy myself. You know, I'm going to, you know, I'll go for a walk. I'll feed the ducks in the park, right? I'll ride my bicycle, or, I'll go hang gliding or mountain climb or whatever. Skiing, on a catamaran, south of France, getting wasted at a rave. You might see me on the internet. Not really, right? Right? Not really. Because I'm here telling jokes, right? Every single day, right? Day in and day out, right? And the people that aren't, they're out there having a good time. They're out there, they're paragliding with their paraquat through, between the pyramids in Egypt, and then, in the Himalayas or whatever, lighting fires with monks, right? Or whatever. I don't do voices. I'm not going to do that to you. Right? And, the point is that jokes are, you say, and I'd say, well, you hadn't said anything. You just went, meh. And then, and so sometimes, if you told so many jokes, right? Say you told, for example, for a specific example, say you got up on Tuesday, it was 17, or whatever, and you got up in the morning and had oatmeal and a banana for breakfast, and then you jogged like a mile or whatever, and then you I don't know, and then you watched TV or something, right? It doesn't matter what you did, but and then you took a nap, right? And then you woke up and you were full of you went straight to the, there's not a piano that you wake up out of sleep, and you've got this, this whole comedy set in your head, and you go to, and you bang out the thing you heard, right? There's not something like that necessarily, so you just, you just turn on the camera, and you say, something or other about naps or whatever, and some other bullshit for a long period of time, right? Because that's what, it's not some scam for your attention, right? And, I don't have some big money apparatus behind me pumping me through some sort of automatic money printer thing with Google or something. It's not, that's not, I went to sleep almost. Didn't go to sleep because, I was at the cusp of sleep. I was like, I have a responsibility. There's not a whole lot of people, joke purists out there, that are telling proper jokes in this economy of comedy, right? The comedy economy that's going on right now is, it's pretty sullen, right? So, so, I thought, because it's so sullen, the comedy community, that it could be, I thought, I get up, instead of taking the nap, I get up, I'm serious. I go, I sit at the computer, I go, I'm going to write some serious jokes today, right? And I'll leave you with this, right? That's the title of it, that what you just heard. No, it isn't. So, I'm not going to do that. Some scam of where, and then I said something clever, it sounds like a title. Alright. So, one of the, part of this series is, how to think like a joke master, right? And how to also learn how to do jokes, better than other comedians, right? And and at the end of the series, you'll probably learn that you feel that you have this capacitous ability to dominate other comedians with the style of the jokes that you'll be able to tell. You'll have some sort of corporate apparatus pump you through the social medias. You'll show up at a stage. Seems like you're popular. You go on, say whatever. It doesn't matter. Bullshit. Come off. Left, rinse, repeat. And say some propaganda, political bullshit. That's very left-wing bullshit. And then you get off the stage, and then and then some people say, well, where was the jokes, right? And that's, I'm not some sort of critic to say, well, there's no jokes, it's just political laced brainwashed bullshit.